Hey gang, Steve Guttenberg here. I am the very much Audiophiliac, closing in on 100,000 subscribers very soon. So today I'm going to show you my system, but stay tuned because at the end of this part one, I will talk about a blast from the past, my very first high-end turntable. So stick around, don't go away too quick. But before I get started, I'm going to take you a little bit literally behind the scenes here and show you this Unison Research Trio 25, very obviously, tube amplifier. It's made in Italy. It's a scrumptious piece of gear. I'm going to be posting a review of that very soon. That's going to go away very quickly. But these are the Klipsch Cornwall 4s, my speaker of the year for 2019. These are my long-term reference, at least long-term. Well, okay, 6 months, a year, we'll see. But down here is another reference. This is the First Watt SIT3, designed by Nelson Pass, of course. To its right is a Pass Labs XA25. Above that, Pass Labs F7. That's what I'm using at this very moment. Then a Pass Labs XA100.5. That's a mono amplifier. That's the left channel amp. Above that is a First Watt J2. Oh, so back here, by the way, that's the other XA100.5 for the right channel. Anyway, there's another Klipsch. So I love headphones. These are my beloved Sony SA5000s. And these are maybe 25, 30 years old. I haven't owned them that long, but I wish Sony would make something like this again. It's a very open sounding headphone. You might notice a resemblance to the Sennheiser HD800. Yeah, they look sort of similar, right? But you know what? This one came out like 7 or 8 years before the Sennheiser did. So just a little tidbit there. Oh, down here are my, these are Beyerdynamics T1s, the original T1s. I actually preferred them to the Mark II version. I keep thinking that Beyer's going to make a T2, like a flagship or something. But that hasn't happened. Surprising. Oh, and these are my, these are the best ever hi-fi, man. These are Sus Veras. These are very expensive headphones. They're $6,000. They are absolutely stunning. The best sounding headphone I own, let's say tied with the Abyss 1266 headphones. Oh, and you guys have asked about the Headphone Tree. Now here's the Headphone Tree. Yeah, it's big. It's got a lot of headphones on it, but sadly, a lot of these headphones are not current headphones anymore, so I feel kind of weird doing an episode just about the tree because I got to straighten up the tree. I don't mean just visually, I just mean in terms of what's there, what's in, what's out, that sort of thing. Anyway, there it is in all its glory. A tree definitely grows in Brooklyn. Oh, by the way, speaking of products coming in, going out, this is the back, sorry, you're looking at the back, but these are Tannoy Cheviot speakers with a brilliant dual concentric 12-inch driver. That review is also coming up shortly. Wow, that is an incredible speaker. For my CD playback, as you can tell, this is the J's Audio CD2 Transport. It just plays CDs, not SACDs, not DVD audio, just CDs. That's all I wanted to do, and it does it very well. And as you can tell, it's a really beautiful piece of gear. Below that is the Pass Labs XP30 preamp, sitting on top of one of its power supplies, and then there's a second power supply there for left and right channels. Continuing, we go to this luscious piece of gear. This is an SME Model 15 turntable. This is not in for review. This is my actual turntable. And that is being, oh, it's the cartridge, in case you're wondering. That is an Audiophiliac Cadenza Blue, which is not mine. It's my friend Michael Trey's. He loaned it to me. Below that is the Parasound JC3 Plus phono preamp, designed by the absolutely brilliant John Curl. Now we're looking at the Nelson Pass design. This is not quite one of a kind, but one of very few first watt new tube preamplifiers, and it is absolutely brilliant. Oh, this is the power supply for and controller for the SME turntable. Down here is the Denafreps Terminator. Well, my current reference, and I think it's going to be my reference for quite a while, DAC. Absolutely brilliant. Down here we're looking at some of my records in heavy rotation and some CD box sets. More LPs in heavy rotation, more LPs in a lot of heavy rotation. Oh, here's some of my records. And some of you get weird about them being at an angle. Trust me, they're fine. I play them all the time. No warps. They're good. So find something else to worry about. Oh, this is a Border Patrol DAC. This is old school with a new old stock Philips chip, tube choke power supply. Brilliant, absolutely amazing. Old school sound, but still sounds glorious. Some CDs in heavy rotation, more CDs in heavy rotation. That's the Hi-Fi Man HE1000 with Nordist cable. This is my very first Hi-Fi Man headphone. It's the HE5. It's their first planar magnetic design. Really, really special headphones, about 12 years old. Still sounds absolutely incredible. So a bunch of my CDs. Oh, got a lot of CDs. They're all over the place, but believe me, I have thousands. So here is the system. This is it in all of its glory. This is what I look at most days right now. Closing out part one, but stay tuned for part two, where I'm going to be talking about my very first high-end turntable right now. So, you know, it's funny, when I was at Bo's house the other day and I shot that video with him, I flashed back on my Empire 598 turntable. And what a disaster that was. I bought this turntable, I guess, in the early 70s, and it was so beautiful, or I thought so, at least at the time. I think now it's kind of hideous. But anyway, I just fell in love with it as soon as I saw it in a hi-fi store. It was a Newmark in Lewis shop that sold refrigerators, but also audiophile grade equipment like Marantz and Macintosh, and they had good lines. And they had Empire, and Empire made these big, chunky turntables with a brass finish, you know, actually kind of gaudy, but cool, interesting. Anyway, I bought this turntable. It was a suspended turntable. I had no idea what to do with this turntable. I couldn't set it up. It was very bouncy, and I had very bouncy floors. That's a bad combination. So it skipped when I breathed near it, and it just was so frustrating. And, you know, looking back, why the dealer didn't offer to set it up for me, I don't understand. But he didn't. So anyway, I had it for a couple of weeks, and I just dreaded using it because every time I touched it, it was skipping and jumping around. So finally, I go back to the store, and I said to him, you know, I don't think the Empire's working out. And he's like, no problem, I'll take it back. And I said, great. Now, it was pretty expensive. I'm guessing it was maybe $300, which was a lot of money for me at the time. And what did I wind up with next? It was a Miracord, a German ELAC Miracord, and it had no problems like the Empire did. But it wasn't as good. I knew, you know, one of the things about the Empire that I could tell right away is how quiet it was. As soon as the stylus was in the groove, when it wasn't jumping around and skipping, it was noticeably quieter than the previous turntable that I had before the Empire, and quieter than the ELAC Miracord that I got after the Empire. So I was kind of like, maybe I screwed up. Maybe I should have kept the Empire. I stuck with the Miracord until I got my first really good turntable, which was a Lin LP12. And that was a game changer. That changed everything about my enjoyment of playing records. It was so much quieter. And the first arm I had on my Lin was a Grace 707, and the cartridge was a Supex 900 moving coil. And I can't remember what I used as a phono preamp or a step up at that time, but that was the beginning. That's when I was truly an audiophile. That was around the time I started working at Sound by Singer, so they all kind of fit together, right? But the progression of turntables that I've gone through in my life is long, but there are some highlights. And you know, looking back, the Empire, though it didn't work out, was a big one, you know. And so was the Lin, you know, and so was the Roxanne that I had after the Lin, and so was the VPI and the SME turntable Model 15 I have now. All really, really important. And maybe, just maybe, and you know, I shouldn't say this because I'll regret it, but I'm thinking the SME 15 is my last turntable. We shall see. I've had it a couple of years now. I have no plans to change. I might upgrade to an SME 5 arm. The current arm is an SME 309. But I don't know. I need to get a cartridge. That's my next move with my turntable. But everything is a work in progress, really, in audio land. It is for me, because I'm always looking for the next big thing. But forget it. Not the next big thing. The next thing. The next change. The next difference. I'm into difference. My name is Steve Dettenberg. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show, coming to you from a park in Brooklyn. And it's cold, and I'm holding out the phone with my arm, and I'm starting to shake a lot because it's cold, so I gotta go. But I hope to see you back here again very, very soon. And as always, thank you so much for